Hey everyone! It's time we had a serious talk about the UK budget that just dropped. I've been digging into this and let me tell you, it's not looking great for a lot of us. We need to be informed about how these changes are going to affect our lives, so let's break it down. There are three major ways this budget could hit you, and we need to talk about them. First up, let's talk about benefits cuts, specifically universal credit. Now they're saying universal credit is going up slightly, and that sounds good on the surface, right? But here's the kicker, the health element is being slashed by 50% and frozen for new claimants. That's a huge deal, folks. We're talking about carers, people with disabilities, and those who are sick getting less support. It's like they're pulling the rug out from under the people who need help the most. I mean, how are these folks supposed to manage? It's not just numbers on a page. It's real people struggling to get by. Next, let's talk about the cost of living. They're making a big deal about fuel duty staying frozen. Sure, that sounds nice, but let's be real here. Energy bills and food prices are still through the roof. I'm talking to people every day who are having to choose between heating and eating. This freeze on fuel duty, it's like putting a band-aid on a broken leg. It's not helping real families who are drowning under the cost of just surviving. We're talking about mums skipping meals so their kids can eat, elderly folks sitting in the cold because they can't afford to turn on the heat. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. And then there's the defense spending. They're pumping $2.2 billion into defense. Now they're saying this is to boost the economy, create jobs in tech and military. But let's think about this for a second. Where's the money for support workers, for carers, for the people living in poverty? It feels like this money is going straight into the pockets of billionaire mates, not to the people who are struggling to put food on the table. We're talking about single parents working multiple jobs, carers who are stretched thin looking after loved ones, and folks who are one unexpected bill away from disaster. Look, I get it. Budgets are complicated and there's always going to be give and take. But this budget, it wasn't made for us. Not for the single parents juggling work and childcare. Not for the carers who are giving everything they've got to look after others. Not for the people who are scraping by month after month wondering if they'll ever catch a break. And here's the thing that really gets me. If we don't talk about this, if we don't make some noise, they're going to pretend everything's okay. They'll point to those headline figures, the slight increase in universal credit, the fuel duty freeze, and say, see, we're helping. But we know better. We know that behind those numbers are real people, real struggles, real lives being affected. So what do? We talk about it, we share our stories, we make sure our neighbors, our friends, our communities understand what's really going on. Because when we stay silent, when we don't question these decisions, that's when they get away with it. I want you to think about the people in your life who might be affected by these changes. Maybe it's you, maybe it's a family member, a friend, or someone in your community. These aren't just abstract policies, they're decisions that are going to impact real people in real ways. We need to stand up for each other, we need to demand better. Because if we don't, who will? This isn't about politics, it's about people. It's about making sure that in a country as wealthy as ours, nobody gets left behind. It's about making sure that when budgets are made, they're made with all of us in mind, not just the ones at the top. So let's keep talking, let's keep fighting, and let's make sure our voices are heard, because we deserve better than this. We deserve a budget that actually helps those who need it most. And if we stand together, if we keep pushing for change, we can make it happen. Don't let them forget about us. Don't let them pretend everything's fine when it's not. We're in this together, and together we can make a difference.